snacks.
What it do, snackers and snackass? It's your boy Gage here on the couch for another episode of Loaded Snacks Weekly.
Yeah.
Got the homie Sin in the building.
You do.
The homie Coop is in the building.
He's here.
K behind the camera.
As always.
That's that Creative 71.
All day.
71.
All day. Holla at him for your multimedia needs.
All your multimedia
All
needs.
of them.
All of them.
That's right.
All of them.
All day.
All of them.
All day.
Every day.
On the block.
Whip my chest. You know what it is. So look, ladies and gentlemen, on the docket today, it's time for us to have a discussion about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, we have to.
Okay.
We have to.
At this point.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, look, it's imminent.
Yeah.
Right?
It's coming.
The movie is incoming. And that conversation is going to lead into some other interesting conversation. I've been thinking about this.
Okay.
So, we're going to do that. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back from the break, Sin has a surprise, which is not uncommon these days.
Sin has a random ass question.
Sin has a surprise. So, Kay, is everything cool?
Yep.
My man. So here's what I want to do.
Okay.
First thing I want to do is I want to talk about what are our expectations for Ant-Man and the Wasp as the movie in the MCU that is following Infinity War.
Okay.
Yeah, because those are some large loafers to step into.
It is, and I think that's why it timeline wise it's where it is.
Yeah. And I remember we
To technically not have to follow it, considering that
Sure.
it's not quote unquote taking place after the dusting. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's
right.
from this, even though they still might answer the questions of where they are at that point in time.
Right.
But it seems like the focal point is where they were after Civil War.
So the expectation question is kind of twofold. It is, what are your expectations for it as a movie in terms of story and so forth, but also, what are the expectations, I guess not just for you or for us, but what do you think like Disney or Marvel's expectations are in terms of its sales?
My answer can answer both of those.
Okay.
I think that is going to be better than the last one, but kind of like how
Better than the last Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes.
I mean last Ant-Man movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Better than the last Ant-Man, but like our expectations going to Ant-Man, how we were like not like it was Ant-Man, so we were like expecting like something so big and extravagant. We got it. We actually really genuinely enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
I think we're gonna do that with this one, bigger and better.
Okay.
But on that same level of not expecting too much, but getting it be extremely pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I think Disney with the sales is going to be the same thing.
Right.
With those characters. It's not like they're throwing a heavy hitter at us. You know what I'm saying? Like a Black Panther, Iron Man, or Captain America.
Let me just, yeah.
Okay.
Is it going to do better than Solo?
As much as it hurts, yeah.
Do you think it's expected to do better than Solo?
Yes.
Having done what Solo did. Yes? You say yeah?
Honestly, I don't know if it's going to do better than Solo. I just don't know. Because it's Ant-Man. Like, it's...
You're right. Here's why I say that. One, obviously, it's all Disney.
Yeah,
okay.
True.
But part of the reason why I asked that is because Star Wars as a whole has this long-lasting, overarching history throughout movies and so forth that reaches many, many, many people of all ages and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that the MCU may have breached that. There may be more fans of the MCU. That storyline has been running for 10 years consistently. Mm-hmm. There's no huge gap between these movies and these movies.
These three.
You don't have to go back and like, it's not like you put the prequels out
of order
after
and stuff like that.
It's just right. And then even if you don't like the Star Wars movies, tend to be more important in terms of having seen the other films for the one you're watching to be relevant to you. It can still be good.
Right.
But the relevance of it is not necessarily the same if you don't know the rest of the story.
Yeah.
Right.
Where Marvel's movies, the MCU films, have a tendency to be able to stand alone even if you haven't seen the other films. True. Like, there are so many people.
You may have to go back and, like, if you're coming into the first time watching, like, a Winter Soldier, you may have to go back and watch Captain America, but you don't necessarily have to go watch Iron Man, Hulk, and all the other ones.
Right,
you know,
right. And you don't even necessarily have to go back and watch the first Captain America, but you'll probably want to.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they do enough in that movie by itself to make sure you understand that Bucky is an old friend of Captain America's that comes from before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And kind of give you that storyline, right? But even if you haven't seen that, you can understand that there's some level of significance in, like, Bucky being in Infinity War, having the arm, and them seeing each other like, what's up, old friend, kind of thing. Oh, they know each other?
Right,
oh, okay, right? And I just feel like over the last, like, 2 or 3 years, those franchises, that franchise has gained so many more. Like, just in what I'm seeing when I go to the theater to watch early on a Thursday, the number of people who are packing theaters in for MCU films, by comparison to what I'm used to seeing, there's something happening there, right? And so, even though it's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And he did good the first time around?
He did.
He did.
I think that there might be something there to be said. Like, we, especially considering how Solo performed, that it might be, they might, even if it was just like our base intentions were for this to do this. Now, based on what Solo did, we're looking at it doing better than that, or we're thinking it's probably going, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just,
At this point, I think there was always a bigger plan for Ant-Man. Like, a year ago, we did the podcast about all the movies that are going to be coming out.
Sure.
And we clearly saw Ant-Man after Infinity War. And even then, I was like, but why?
Yeah,
and it was like,
yeah,
and I was like, well, why? I said that. I was like,
whose idea was this?
Yeah, I was like, it doesn't make any sense. And when Ant-Man came out, we ran into a lot of people who didn't know a lot about Marvel at all.
Sure.
And they would come to us. And I remember a lot of people coming to me like, yo, is Ant-Man a real thing?
I was going to say, the name would throw people off.
And it was like,
really?
this can't be real, right? You know, it's Ant-Man. And then they saw it and they enjoyed it.
Yeah,
so I think now at this point, knowing we had the Ant-Man trailer a while ago. And it was like, oh, it looks good. It looks good. It looks better than the first one, you know? But now after knowing Infinity War, it's like, and then they changed the trailer and said, like, where were they? And so now, you're like,
now they throwing it,
so now you're like, oh, okay. Like, this is...
Well, but the other thing about that is, though, for anybody who didn't see Ant-Man, because there are tons of people who didn't.
Yeah.
A lot of them saw that third Captain America. A lot of them saw Civil War.
Very true.
And he stepped up.
Big time. No pun intended.
Like, literally. So, there are people who know who he is.
Right.
Just based on that. And I think that there were people who went and saw Infinity War like, hey, but what happened? Where's the Ant guy?
It's funny. A lot of people did the same thing with Doctor Strange with Infinity War.
Sure.
Like, I'm not about to see this wizard movie. But when they saw him put in work,
they want to go back and see his movie.
Go back in.
Yeah, there were people who were like, hey, he could do stuff. Right. I'm like, he could do stuff.
Why did they make a movie off of him?
A movie out of somebody that can't do stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
he can do stuff.
Yeah.
That's what be on a t-shirt. Doctor Strange. He can do stuff.
Hey, real talk. Yeah. Hey, look. So, okay. What are your expectations for the movie? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? What are you expecting? What are your predictions?
I'm expecting a standalone movie that will be bigger and better than the first one.
Okay.
Almost to the point where you kind of forget about the Infinity War because you got trapped in the movie. But then it's like, oh wait, we got this
There's more, right?
Yeah. So I'm expecting a very surprising moment to help us not only forget. I mean, not to forget Infinity War, but to like
tie it together,
to tie everything together like they always do, and to know that Ant-Man is a bigger thing than you ever thought it was.
He's an important player in it or something like that. What are you thinking?
I literally have zero expectation going into the movie. I really do. It's just how I like to go into movies, like just let me just go and just experience it for what it is.
Right.
Besides, looking forward to the Wasp. Let's say we finally get to see this character, get her suit, come onto the screen, and all that kind of stuff. And besides it being bigger and better than the last one, I'm looking forward to getting an answer of where were they during the time.
Right.
I do like your theory.
Wow.
Of being in the microverse or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And that might have been the reason why they weren't affected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's... Besides those things, I'm going in with a complete open mind, open slate. Like, just get my ticket, go there, sit, and try to enjoy it as best as possible.
And I think even if you think about the first Ant-Man, they had him go to the Avengers Tower, and then they had Falcon in there to make it more relatable.
Tie it in
To make
now,
it
technically, that wasn't the Avengers Tower.
Well,
Right.
More like a compound or something like that.
But I think they threw that in there to be like, oh yeah, this is part of this, the things that you love. So
this is a part of it.
Yeah.
This is a part of that universe. So there are a couple of things that I think they're using Ant-Man to line up. I think one of those things is, in fact, the multiverse. So I think that, again, obviously, I like to throw the Hail Mary. So,
When I hear multiverse, I just think DC. It's just...
I got you.
Yeah.
But we know that Marvel has multiple universes.
Right.
And I think that knowing what happened with the snapping and people getting dusted, right? And like all the speculation around, like, all right, I think they're in the Soul Stone, or you know what I mean, whatever, right? We don't really know what happened to them. We know they don't exist in our universe anymore. That Thanos' point was to even out our universe, but that has nothing to do with how that affects other universes, right? Or something like that, right? So maybe it's in other universes. Maybe they're not in the stones. You know what I mean? So the idea of that entire attack, what's going on Earth, this movie may be taking place in that same place, and their ability to go in and out of the microverse, because we haven't seen it, but we know that Michelle Pfeiffer is in this movie and that she's playing the original Wasp. Right? So that's one of the things I'm excited about. I think one of the things that Marvel is trying to do and is setting up with this movie is they are starting to do a better job of positioning female heroes to kind of be front and center and take that front seat. And they seem to be focusing a lot on that, even though her name comes after Ant-Man, right? It's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
But the trailer is definitely how bad
it's about her. It's about what she can do, her having abilities he doesn't have, being able to shoot, her fighting, stuff like that.
You
Stuff
must
he doesn't have. Like he's not a fighter, right? And he doesn't know how to use the technology as well as she does either. You know what I mean? She's smarter.
You can see her driving. She just throwing things, making something big and small, and she driving, hitting the button, and she's getting it.
Well, it actually makes the movie a lot more anticipating too, because after the last movie, he was like, "I finally got you a suit," and she was like, like it's about time. It's about time.
But that was the thing, because a large part of the first movie was her being upset that he was giving the suit to him instead of her.
Right.
She's like, I'm the one, but he didn't want to give it to her because he didn't want the same thing to happen to her to happen to her mother, right? So, I think we get to see them kind of step up, and I'm interested in seeing like what the original suit looked like when we see her. You know what I mean? See if she's got that same kind of badass, that same kind of attitude. Like, we know that she was with him on a mission when she went into the microverse and disappeared. She took that chance. She stepped out there or whatever and put herself out there. So we know she's in the movie. Right. So they got to find her at some place. How they going to do it if they're not in the microverse? And that might explain, how it is that maybe they survive. Maybe the microverse is considered a different universe, and then therefore they're not affected by it, right? But having said that, I also think that one of the things they're doing that's pretty dope is the villain is a female. Yeah. So Ghost is a dope. If you're not familiar, get familiar. We're not gonna go into it here.
I'm not familiar, but okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Ghost is a dope villain. Period.
Okay.
I think
I love
great
her look.
for what.
I love her look in the movie.
Is great for what this is. In the most recent trailer, they finally said her name for the first time. He actually calls her Ghost, like, we gotta beat Ghost, whatever. But again, it's a female. So again, as you're starting that run up to Captain Marvel, right? As you're starting to put,
she's the heavy hitter.
Seeing was Okoye, Shuri. You know what I mean?
Like, hearing they're trying to get a Black Widow movie
started, like,
kind of
like beginning to start positioning these characters. If they even come close to being able to expand the Avengers to what it's even close to being like in the comic books with like She-Hulk was running the Avengers at one point and things of that nature. Marvel does and always has had really strong female heroes, superheroes, and villains, right? And so beginning to kind of push, I think that's part of what this might be leading into. But I also think, and we're going to segue this, okay, that this being an introduction to the multiverse might help explain what's going on with Spider-Man. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's talk about your boy Tom Holland for a second. Because my man, is he foolish? Or is this done on purpose? So you guys know that he gave up the name of the new Spider-Man movie.
Far From Home. Yeah.
Far From Home. What does that mean? So the last one was Homecoming. I'm coming home.
I believe I know what it is.
Now I'm Far From Home. I'm going to let you tell me what you think it is, and I'm going to tell you how I think it ties into Ant-Man.
I believe the premise for this movie is they're on a field trip overseas.
Okay.
Him and his class. That's why it's called Far From Home.
They're filming in London.
Literally nothing more than that. But whatever he gets into happens while he's, quote unquote, far from home. Overseas and not multiverse related, but don't know till the movie comes out. Right. But that's the reason why I think the title is what it is.
So I think that there's a possibility that he may be far from home because of the snapping. He may have been sent into another universe, one wherein which a young Miles Morales is already ready and or is already Spider-Manning, right? We've talked about this before. Cindy Moon, who is Silk, technically is already in. We know that we know Miles Morales exists in the MCU already.
Right.
They did that in the first movie.
Right.
There is an Asian girl. I can't say she's Korean.
Right.
I wouldn't do that.
She's of Asian descent.
For sure.
Right.
She was on his decathlon team.
Right.
And her name was Cindy.
Right. So
Cindy Moon is Silk. She got bit by the same spider he got bit by. She has powers. Okay?
Talk about the luck of the draw.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, the possibility, right, that this opens up the possibility of there being other universes, multiple verses, right, where you could use that to possibly introduce other characters that didn't exist before or weren't there, or we signed a deal with Fox and now there are other characters that could be around, right?
Right.
And you could pull a Miles Morales that's already an adult here, because the Miles Morales in ours might have got snapped to somewhere else. Who knows? True. So there's the possibility, right, that they've decided that the dusting, the snapping, maybe sent people to other universes. Could be that some people are in the stone, but maybe that's not what happened to everybody, right?
Okay. And
so you could use that to say, okay, well, we removed them from the verse, right? So there's a possibility that Far From Home could mean something more than that, right? But also, there is a British version of Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. And they are pushing the Spider-Verse on the Sony side.
That is true. Who's this British Spider-Man?
What do you mean?
Who is he? Because I don't know who this dude is. He must suck.
Me neither.
Well, he's in the Spider-Verse, there are Spider-Man from all over the place. So
I know Spider-Gwen. I know Miles Morales.
Yeah,
I know
that's when
Silk.
well,
2099.
Here's
and the cartoon was black and white, right? When it was.
You talking about Spider-Man Noir?
He's one Noir Spider-Man. See, I know about that one. The British Spider-Man.
From the game, though. That's why you know about Spider-Man Noir.
The tea and crumpet Spider-Man, I don't know about him.
I mean, he got a Union Jack uniform. He still wears the...
I ain't never seen this dude before.
You're right, but you didn't read the Spider-Verse.
No, I didn't, but I'm just saying, like, okay.
When you look up the Spider-Verse, right, you're going to see, you know Spider-Ham.
Little pig.
Yeah.
See? But I don't know about the British version of Spider-Man. Okay. I'm going to look him up. I'm going to look him up and see what he's about.
Do you know about the Aunt May Spider-Man?
Oh, that just messed my head.
Oh, it's a real thing.
That's just too
It's
much.
real. They got, the Spider-Verse is a lot.
Wait, is it an old lady? Or
it's an old lady.
Oh, it ain't.
No.
No, it ain't. You can get this Aunt May?
Nah, you can still get this, but
No,
it ain't.
I'm talking you can get this.
Oh, nah, you talking about Marissa? You talking about Marissa Toa May?
Yeah.
Marissa Toa May.
Yeah.
Nah, it ain't that one.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
I don't care then. I don't care then.
All right, look, we're gonna take a quick break and come back. You got a question?
I got a question.
All right, let's do it.
For y'all.
Be back.
What's going on, y'all? Sin here with the crew from, Lone Snacks. It is what we do. Do me a favor. This week, Thursday, 12 o'clock, AM or PM, Coop?
PM?
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
PM. Tune into the Lone Snacks channel for my review of Kake Garuri. What? What are you doing? Go check it out when it comes out. Or if you saw this afterwards, then I know what to do. Just go do it. But make sure you hit the like, share, subscribe button and all that good stuff that comes in between. Please. Please. Like I said again for you. Fine. One more time. Please. With that, I'm sent from the anime vault. That's Gage doing this thing. That's Coop doing this thing. And we're out.
Loading snacks.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Coop, and I'm with the man that can do whatever a spider can, Gage.
That's me.
Ladies and gents, we are here today to announce a new segment where we'll be doing a episode by episode review of the new hit show coming out, Cloak and Dagger.
I like how you decided it's a hit already, but continue.
Because I feel it.
You feel it?
I feel it.
I feel it. Basically, they are two people from two different worlds. Like, he comes from a lower class, kind of, and she comes from a high class. Like, her mother's a model, kind of thing. And they both are basically runaways that go to, like, New York City to kind of escape from the things in their worlds that are a problem for them.
Make sure you guys come back on Monday at 7 p.m. where you can catch the Loading Snacks review for Cloak and Dagger. I'm Coop.
I'm Gage. Hit the ding-a-ling bell.
The ding-a-ling bell.
You never miss an episode.
Yeah. You'll never miss an episode of us. We're out.
Hey, we are back.
Mm-hmm.
It's Loading Snacks Weekly. Here on the couch, chill.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hey, Coop. That's a nice shirt.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who bought that for you?
I bought this for myself.
My man, look at that. Treat yourself, y'all.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Swelling? Swellington.
What? Oh, man.
He can't even get himself.
I can't even get myself together.
Your son bought that for you.
Happy Father's Day.
Yep.
Happy Father's Day.
Where's my
Dad.
toy?
Hey, straight up. That's
Yeah.
On Father's Day, where's my toy?
Right. That's how it is. You're supposed to bring me something. Sin,
Yeah.
you got something you want to talk about? You got a question for the crew?
I have one of Sin's random ass questions.
Okay.
All right, so follow me on this, y'all. It's a video game related question.
Okay. I like video games.
Of course. If you had more time to play games, like let's just say we made a living off of doing this, you'd have to have a 9 to 5. You know what I mean? You can focus more on that type of stuff. What 360/PS3, that generation, what titles would you go back and try to 100% complete?
Nothing. I ain't going back.
That you may have played only 5-10% of it.
I ain't going back. No going backwards.
That's a tough question.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough question.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, wait. It has to be something that we never completed in the first place?
You've only probably played about 5-10% of it. Like you put we get stuff a lot. So we'll put it in real quick, look at it, mess it for a little bit, and something else will come out. We'll just move on. You know what I mean? But something that you're going to 100% complete. Like not just complete it. Like
one joint.
One joint.
One game.
Okay.
Only one game.
One game. One game.
I'm trying to make a decision. Just,
Okay.
Oh, nah. You said like 5-10%. Okay, so.
Well, you know what I mean? Like that's just
I know,
the
but I'm just saying. But
right.
Okay, so Fallout 3.
Ooh. That is a good one. Now, why Fallout 3?
Because I only played like the first 5 or 10. Like, I played the very beginning of the joint, walked out the vault, never touched the joint again.
Okay.
Never touched the joint again. So, That would be the one. Because if it wasn't that, probably be Castle Crashers.
You haven't beat Castle Crashers?
Sure. But I didn't 100% it. Because there's a rack of characters to get.
There are. And weapons.
Very true.
Weapons. Yes.
There's a lot to do in that game. I did get all the animals.
Right.
But I definitely did not get all the weapons.
Okay.
I definitely didn't unlock all the characters. I unlocked a lot of them. By beating that game a lot.
We put the pause on that.
But it's also it's co-op too.
That
right? So like Fallout is dope. Whatever, I will put the time in. I could do that. I could certainly sink my teeth into a good single player. Let me just, But even though there's a lot of hours that you can put into completing something like that, like if I just had all the time in the world to do it, I feel like it wouldn't keep me, you know what I mean? Like it just so. I mean, it could definitely be. It could be Oblivion.
Oof, good one too.
Cause I never beat that joint. I never did the campaign.
Really?
I probably put 150 hours into Oblivion. I did everything else: Brotherhood, Thieves Guild, Mages Guild, all of it. I was unstoppable.
Never touched the campaign.
I even went in, did some of the DLC stuff, you know what I mean? Like the island joint, I can't remember what it was called, that they added in. I did like the beginning. I mean, you have to do the beginning of the campaign. I did like some of it.
Point, yeah.
But I never, I might have got through like the first, like technically, like maybe the first 20% of the campaign.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Or something like that, 20-25% of the
now,
campaign.
Now, I'm not going to say I'm the one.
Okay.
They got to the end of that.
Okay.
But I think I got further than 20%.
You might have.
Before I did the same thing you did. And I was too busy running around
doing
everything else.
I was so interested / distracted by the ability to basically just go do whatever I wanted.
Which is what Bethesda's good at.
That I did. I went and just did, like, I just put so much time. And again, by the time I put all that kind of time and effort into it, there was just other stuff that was out.
True,
you know what I mean?
true,
and I did go back to it a couple of times. But I got distracted. You know what I'm saying? Like I literally went back to that game with the intention of like, you know what? I'm super powerful. You know what I mean? Like I can be invisible. I'm shooting dumb fireballs or whatever.
Let me just put the kibosh on this.
Yeah, let me just run through this. It just didn't happen.
Okay.
It just didn't happen, man.
Coop, do you have a?
Yeah, I would say Red Dead Redemption.
You only played the very beginning of that? You only played the very beginning of that?
Yeah. And I beat the game. But there's like side missions and everything you can do. And I remember playing the game. I did like the first few missions, but then just wandered off. And saw a few things, and then
start killing bobcats. And
all stuff. So then I was like, you know what? Let me actually beat the game. But then after that, like you said, like I think other things actually just came out. Just wasn't really into it. And if I was like bored, I would throw it back on. And I was always saw myself that I wasn't 100%. So I was like, I kind of just want 100% this game, and it never actually happened. And it's just fun too, in general. So
here's a question: do you plan on trying to complete it before the new one comes out?
No.
No?
No.
Not at all.
Nah.
No desire to go back and play the first one before the next one comes out.
Well, he beat it though. He said he beat the game.
I beat it. And I know the main story, but as far as like just going back and like doing side missions or even doing the zombie DLC version, which was completely hard to beat in itself, was nah. I think I'm just gonna act brand new with the second one.
I'm gonna just act brand new.
With the second one, just, and get right into it. But
did you finish GTA 5?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
On 360 or when it
both.
Got re-released?
I did both. When I finished it on 360, it was like 2 weeks later. Xbox One, and I was like, okay. So
Got you, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Right.
But I had so much fun doing it. I had no problem doing all that over again. It wasn't even an issue. But
Okay.
yeah.
What about you?
Mine would be Final Fantasy 13.
But okay.
Hey, look, I get you. That would just be.
But wait, okay. Does beating Final Fantasy 13 mean beating 13, Lightning Returns, and 13 too?
See, that's part of the reason why. I'm a Final Fantasy fan. I've been
Sure,
ever
me
since
too,
ever since the first one come out. I never got the sequels.
Right.
Both
Me
of them.
neither, because I didn't finish 13.
Neither did I. So this is one of those ones like I put in work. I would have loved the 100% the thing. Like I would go back and put my time and focus and energy to finishing that, hoping that it would make me want to go get the other one. Since now I have time now in this universe that I've created
This
to maybe go.
multiverse.
I see what you did there, multiverse. Yes,
Pay
to go and
attention.
complete the second and the third one. Because that we don't get that in a Final Fantasy game. You know what I mean? Where they rarely do sequels.
An actual sequel to it.
Right, to a game. You
Right.
know what I mean? They did, it was 3 of them to this one. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I would like to go back and focus on that first one to 100% it. And like I said, depending on how it all ends and how I'm feeling, and you know what I'm saying, go forward and jump into the next 2 after that.
I feel like I decided I like Lightning as she was. Like, I got all the way up until the point where basically the world opens up,
I didn't even get that far.
and then I
didn't even get that far.
dig it. It gets dumb hard. Like, I guess think like chapter 10.
Yeah, I know that was one that threw me off how they did it. Like
More
it's
linear.
very linear. Then right before you get to the end, go explore the world and do all this stuff you want for like 50 more levels. Like really, and now I'm at the end of the game. You know what I mean? So it threw me off. You know what I'm saying? Just having that information before I already got there. So and then something else probably came out, and
I will tell you
Jump
this:
on
when Batman Arkham came out,
Mhm.
and I beat the game, and it said like 58%, I'm like, oh nah, like
oh, you
No.
lying?
Gotta get those Riddler
You
trophies, bro.
lying.
I'm going back right now.
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
yeah,
get these Riddler trophies.
I'm still on Arkham with the last Arkham Knight.
yeah.
I'm still on that one today.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that
I
one's
gotta
tough.
get that. I gotta get that ending at some point.
That one's tough, and the Riddler, the challenges are just so. Some of them are so dumb easy. It just makes you feel stupid.
And then on the opposite spectrum, some of those are dumb hard.
Very true.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not interested at all.
Yeah, I think like the last one I had to get, you had literally had to scan the Batmobile. Like that was the riddle, like something like scanning something, and
Thank you for that information.
I was like, damn, like that was it. Scan the Batmobile. Like all this time, I have the Batmobile, and I couldn't figure it out.
But see,
to save
you
my-
wouldn't think about scanning the Batmobile.
Not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all.
That's how the riddle won.
It was like that one, and like throw a battering to yourself and catch it or something.
Look, I'm not that far in his riddles yet. They are a pain.
Yeah, after the first Arkham, I was like, everyone needs to be 100% as I play it. Like, yeah.
And you're still working on it.
No, I'm done with all those.
Are you 100% it?
Every last one of those Arkham games.
Okay. Respect.
100%.
100. He said 100%.
Well, you check his gamer school. We
Please
can
do.
check-
We will.
We can check.
We will.
Please do.
We can check him out.
We will. I don't believe him. I think he's
See.
smiling.
Hey,
He does it a lot.
it's it's a Batman game, man.
Yeah,
It's
99 and a
different.
quarter.
99 and a quarter. It don't even say, it's like, it says,
You almost got it.
Mm-hmm. Not this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
that's it.
yeah. That was my pick for Final Fantasy 13. Yours was Fallout 3. Yours was
Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was.
I don't like your pick. Because you beat the game already.
Yeah, but there was always so much to do. Just like I beat Arkham, but then it was like, there's so much to do.
That 58%.
Yeah. Oh, that really pissed me off. Because I think it was the fact that it was 58. If it said 78, I'm like, okay, I'll come back later. But 58? Like, nah, come on.
There's still,
You beat the game.
I
You beat
failed,
the game. You
technically.
just over halfway done.
Right, like-
I technically
there's
failed.
still a lot of this game I haven't even touched yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can get the frustration of that.
I could dig it.
I can understand that.
That's one of the things that usually keeps me from completing the game. Is all the additional stuff that there is to do, because I like to get that done before I beat the game, because I know myself as a player, and generally speaking, once I finish a game, I'm done. Like if I beat the game at the credits roll, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I try to get everything done ahead of time, and that actually keeps me from completing a lot of games, because
Assassin's Creed Origins.
I beat
And
the
look,
out of
that is why my hand is up right now.
Yeah.
That is what I'm going to do right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to each new territory. I'm trying to like clear this whole thing out. I'm at level 25 and I'm like in level 16 territory. Like, come on, I'm whooping y'all out here. Come on now. Like,
You push the difficulty up.
come on now. I got things to do out here.
See what I'm saying?
I got things to do. I'm here to have fun. I don't want to. With this game, I'm not looking for the challenge.
Them Falake Tays or whatever they are, man, ain't coming to get you.
Hey, right now I'm hiding. But I'm level
See?
20. Hold on. But I'm level 25 now. They can come see me in these streets if they want. Put the body.
Yeah, I ran up on those bounty hunters.
Yeah.
As soon as I had the level, I ran up on them.
I know you did.
Quick.
I know you did.
I'm waiting for that horn to sound at the right time. Like, come on, let's get this.
I went looking for him.
Oh yeah, I went searching.
I went looking for him.
I went searching.
The first time I beat one that was like right around my level, I was like, oh, are we gonna do this?
See,
Man,
excited. I can't wait now.
Started looking for them little red horns all over the map. Was like, come along, sir. We going to war. Yeah, straight up.
Had my
They
sword.
give good loot. They give good loot.
I don't care.
Had my fire sword.
But listen,
all that stuff.
Murked them. Took the picture.
That's all you needed.
Took a picture.
For the gram. Did it for the gram.
Joint. Yeah.
Did it for the gram.
Yeah. For the Egypt gram.
And it's funny because when you run up on them, a lot of them don't even see you coming. You be right behind them and just.
Not me. I came for you. I want you to know I'm here. I'm talking about I'm riding past you on my trusty steed. Well, whack 'em. I'm really wobbling.
Khadijah. Okay.
Let no man have it, bruh.
Okay.
Yeah. Because when you start getting those weapons, you get the sword with the fire.
Oh man. When they start screaming.
Oh my.
Okay. Look, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm behind, but I'm getting there. But I'm moving through it very fast.
Yeah,
I'm
do so
work.
because a new thing coming.
I gotta get them for that. Because Odyssey's a day one purchase. Day one jump.
Yeah, but it's a day one play.
Yes.
You better get ready.
That's why I think I'm playing this right
You gotta do this and you gotta go through the Egypt tour.
I ain't worried about it. I'm gonna smoke them joints. And I'm not touring Egypt.
Okay.
I'm not doing Discovery. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
I got Discovery Channel for that. Here's some channel for it.
Discovery Channel.
I'm good.
I
like it's in the game, but I'm good. I'm good. I got other games to play.
Amazing.
I got other games, anime, to handle watch. But yeah.
Okay. So that's the question. Okay, so listen. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap this show up. But before we do that, we have a couple of important things we need to tell you.
Just a
couple? The first is...
Okay.
Do you want me to add more? I can add extras.
I got to see how many you got. Go ahead, run through. Let me see if we got them all first.
Challenge.
He like, you disrespectful.
This was going down.
Here comes a new opponent.
First thing I need you to do. The first thing I need you to do. Hit the ding-a-ling bell. Okay? Why do we need to hit the ding-a-ling bell?
So that way they know when we drop new content.
Pop quiz. My man.
Come on,
I didn't know that.
Oh, you were looking at him. And I was like,
normally you would steal somebody else's answer. Like,
right,
you couldn't slide in there.
If New Joke was right here, that way, they know when new content drop.
All of the new videos.
I said it first.
We have. Like this. All
I
of the new stuff.
Here. Y'all just live here.
So yeah, hit the ding-a-ling bell.
Right.
Okay. Make sure you have already hit the subscribe button.
That's important.
Why do they need to hit the subscribe button? Fail. So
I knew it was coming, but I was like, all right, here we go.
I'm ready. He won't ready. He won't ready at all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? Feel free to give us a thumbs up, drop a comment. Tell us what game you would go back and play.
Absolutely.
If you had all the free time in the world.
All the free time.
All the free time in the world, what would you play? Kay, what would you play?
Def Jam Fight for New York.
I knew he was gonna say.
My man didn't even go. He went past 360 back to the original box. Did you never 100% that game? Did you not beat that game?
I beat it twice.
He go back.
That's not what she said.
Yeah.
So
go back and play DJ Hero.
Hey, yeah.
No.
DJ Hero.
No.
I still got
No,
that joint.
oh yeah, my daughter tried to get me to drag that thing out all the time. Okay, so now that you have hit the ding-a-ling bell, giving us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Now you go to your Instagram. You follow @LoadingSnacks.
Absolutely.
You follow Empty Shelves. Sincere619.
Right here.
What's your joint again?
It's Coop's Concessions.
Oh, it is this time?
You sure?
It's always
double
Coop's
checking.
Concessions.
You be switching some stuff up.
It is and always will be for you people.
You
What do you
people?
mean, you people?
Really?
What do you mean?
Really? I think we done off of that one. I can't sit next to this racist no more.
Now I gotta act like you're not even here. Make sure you follow Creative71
Yes.
on Instagram.
Yes.
Unfollow Coop's Concessions.
Please.
On all social media.
We don't support that here.
That
You
is not allowed. We don't do that. You understand me?
Man.
Oh yeah, there's that guy, New Joker 89.
Yeah, he's around. He not here, so he's around.
True. And didn't he say nothing? Like didn't
Nope.
Hey, listen.
So I got no
When
sympathy.
you follow New Joker 89, man, drop that dude a message asking why he won't hit.
Where are you?
Straight up. Just where are you? Where
Coop's
are you?
here.
Right. You know what I mean? Where are you? I want to thank
Racist
you
Coop is here.
for doing all of those things. It's very important to us. We love your support. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Make sure you're checking us out every Monday as we continue to review Cloak and Dagger.
Yep.
Mondays at 7.
Yes.
And LS Weekly every Monday at 10:30. There's this anime thing happening. Thursdays,
Yeah.
12 o'clock.
Yep. That should be a bi-weekly thing. We're gonna go with that for now. Unless y'all want it more, then let me know. But for right now,
Yep.
bi-weekly.
And other than that, we drop these snack bites so y'all can
Absolutely.
see whether or not you should be playing with these loading snacks or not.
Yes, sir.
So, having said all those things, and you having done all those things, which again we appreciate you for, with that we are out. Toodles and loose. Loading snacks. What's your joint again?
It's Coop's Concessions.
Oh, it is this time?
It is,
Sure?
It's always
Double
Coop's
checking.
Concessions.
You be switching some stuff up.
It is and always will be.
You
What do you
people?
mean, you people?
Really?